And that's in Jerusalem?
In Jerusalem.
Wow.
I'm like, listen, this is a space where none of us is.
You still own the team to this day?
Yeah, I'm like, listen, and the African Americans that were brought here as slaves are Israelites. So let me go here now, put a seed here, build it.
Big and serious, you heard it for yourself, people. 12 tribes culture, this is Brother Jack Kemp and them. Yo, me nah lie no man. Stoudemire make them know, yo. We were those people, we are those people. You understand? Let's read this, brethren. Psalms chapter 8. O Lord, our Lord, how excellent is thy name in all the earth, who has set thy glory above the heavens. Out of the mouth of babes and suckling hast thou ordained strength, because of thy enemies, that thou mayest still the enemy and the avenger. When I consider thy heavens, the work of thy fingers, the moon and the stars, which thou hast ordained, what is man, that thou art mindful of him, and the Son of Man, that thou visitest him? For thou hast made him a little lower than the angels, and hast crowned him with glory and honor. Thou madest him to have dominion over the works of thy hands. Thou hast put all things under his feet, all the sheep and oxen, yea, and the beasts of the field, the fowls of the air, and the fish of the sea, and whatsoever passeth through the paths of the sea. O Lord, our Lord, how excellent is thy name in all the earth. So that's what I'm saying, man. The Most High made man. He made a man like Stoudemire. He made a man like the 12 tribes. You know what I mean? Our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Come on, man. He's telling you he know who he is. So you got to be mindful when you listen to certain Israelites. I heard, you know what I mean, people talk about him before and it wasn't really in the best light. All right? Because at the end of the day, everybody coming to the awakening knowing that they're Israel on a whole different level. Some come in on a small level, some come in, you know, depending on who teach them. Little did we know this brother here, you know what I'm saying, he was dedicated, traveling the world, meeting people. Now he even has a wine collection. All right. The brother has a basketball team. I know you cannot imagine what else this brother have planned. So that's what I'm telling you, people. Sometimes you just got to sit back, wait on the Most High, because he's doing things marvelously in the earth. All right. The Bible says it's a simple thing to bring back the 12 tribes of Jacob, man. Come on, man. Right now, this is mercy, having mercy upon them nations, because at the end of the day, when World War III hit off, all these people, all these nations that were deep into the slave trade, they're gonna get mad at each other and they're gonna start attacking each other. All right, whatever their plans is gonna backfire on them, because these things must continue. Our persecution and our hell has been and always been from the nations, man. And you must know, we are the sons and daughters of the slave trade. We used to be in Jerusalem when Christ was there. And Christ told us to flee into the mountains, run into Egypt. Because the so-called Italians, the so-called Romans, they were coming into power. And they were just taking over everything. All right? And it started with the brother named Alexander the Great. That's why when you read the Apocrypha, you know about the history. That history is in the book. The book of Matthew begins, all right, with the Roman. But before the Romans, there was the Greeks. That is where Alexander the Great come from. All right. So anyway, I'm not trying to, you know what I mean, go into a deep class right now. I'm just trying to show you, look, the Most High is waking up his people. Guys, subscribe, like. People need to see this to build their faith, because let me tell you, the two strongest movements in the earth right now is Islam and Christianity, white supremacy Christianity. Okay? And how they mess up, I'm gonna tell you how they mess up. Ask them what heaven is. Because what heaven is to them is different from what the Israelites know heaven is in the Bible. There's gonna be a class about that. But that's how you know they're full of nonsense. You ask any one of these religious people what their heaven is and just listen. Alright? No, at the end of the day, people are waking up, and brothers like him that know other brothers and sisters in the NBA and NFL, they're going to spread the word, because guess what, people? Truth
coming to the wine
is needed.
I mean, honestly, I was so I traveled the world doing wine tasting.
People pay you.
No, I was going on my own.
But you were trying to do that. You were trying to get into the business.
No. I was traveling anyways, right?
Oh, okay.
So I go to Athens, Greece. I go to France. I go to all these places, and I would go while I'm there.
Right.
I'd take historical site to match up what I'm learning in the Bible to be artifacts and true with what I'm seeing in history.
Wow.
And then I would also go and taste wine and do the food and wine pairing.
Wow.
So when that happened, I was doing that for a few years, and then when I moved to New York, I bought this crazy penthouse in New York, and I was having these parties at the house. And the guy that was providing all the booze for me was a guy who's like into wine. He was like, his main job was like selling wine. And he mentioned to me, he's like, Stat, you should have your own wine one day. I thought it was just kind of bluffing. I'm like, all right, yeah, that sounds good. So I met a guy from there, and we started talking, and he's like, hey, you can definitely have your own wine. Let's talk. So we had a conversation about it. And then it took me about, for this wine right here, for the Reserve, this label, there's 3 bottles within this collection.
Wow.
So there's the Reserve, which is this one. You have the Grand Reserve, and you have the Private Collection.
Which one we drinking now?
These are from Israel. So the this vineyard's from Israel.
Right? It's aged? How?
Yeah, this year right here is a 2017.
Okay.
And it took me like about 7 months to figure out the labels, because what I wanted to do was I wanted to build something for the Stoudemire name, for the family, for my children. Right. So that way when they get older, they can inherit something, the legacy. Right. And so it took 7 months to figure out the label that would become timeless, right? Wow. So, and these bottles are expensive. Right. And so what I wanted to do then is say I want to create a similar blend, but a lower price scale bottle. Right. And so I linked up with the family, the Herzog family out of California, and we created the new Stoudemire wine, the Origin, which is like
out of,
this is out of California.
Okay, Napa or no?
No. Close to Napa, but it's not exactly Napa. Okay. I forget the actual name of the region, but it's in California. Right. And this is a $29 bottle. Right. But it has
as opposed to this one,
but it has the same flavor as the expensive bottle.
Okay.
You feel me?
What did that run you?
This right here is running you $69. This is the lowest one, 69, 79, and then 99.
Okay, cool.
Out of 3 bottles. Right. This is 29. For the mass public, for the people who want to taste wine and have the same type of taste, but can't afford these bottles, I want to create something less expensive for the mass public. So that's how we came up with this one. One interesting point about this bottle also is that the label, the artist Naturel. I'm not sure if y'all familiar with the art space, but Naturel is an artist, a world-renowned artist. He's actually one of 5 artists that was selected to be the artist for top sports, like the cards, the playing cards. Right. So out of all the artists in the world, he was chosen to be one of the top 5 artists to create that particular space for tops, for cards, right? So this bottle is not only a good bottle to drink, but it's also a collector's item, because this artist is a very, very world-renowned artist. Right. So that's why you see the 3D Line of Judah kind of popping out, because it's like, that's the artist Naturel.
So speaking on wine,
the 3D Line of Judah kind of popping out, because it's like, that's the artist Naturel.
So speaking on wine,
so I got involved.
And that's in Jerusalem?
In Jerusalem.
Wow.
I'm like, listen, this is a space where none of us is.
You still own the team to this day?
Yeah, I'm like, listen, and the African Americans that were brought here as slaves are Israelites. So let me go here now, plant a seed here, this program here, so that way now that we're returning back to our land, so then now, I built that whole little infrastructure. So it's a whole different level of like learning, infiltrating, and also building in a space where we once were. And so I went through that whole process of like, we're back. I'm saying? And so building in a space where we once were. And so how I went through that whole process of like, we're back. So building in a space.
All right. So shalom to my people. I'm so glad to see brothers waking up. And guess what, people? Keep sending in prayers up. Keep believing. Keep praying that Luke 18. All right? Because at the end of the day, wicked is still going to be wicked. So we need the Most High to avenge us